While the rest of the world is stuck obsessing over electric cars, Toyota has created a new engine. Their new innovation is a brand new water engine that can actually run on water. At this point, the rest of the automotive companies might as well pack their bags and call it a day. But how exactly does this engine work? And what does Toyota have to say about their latest innovation? Let's find out. Toyota has shocked the entire automotive world with its latest innovation, a water-powered engine. As electric cars continue to capture headlines, Toyota has quietly been working on something that could make electric vehicles seem outdated. The new engine uses water as its fuel source, converting it into hydrogen through an advanced electrolysis process. This process separates the water into hydrogen and oxygen, using the chemical energy released during their recombination to produce power. As a result, we get an engine that emits only water vapor. This could be our perfect solution to reduce harmful emissions and tackle global warming and air pollution concerns. The significance of this engine lies not just in its clean output but in its ability to address the limitations of electric vehicles. Electric cars have zero-emission operation, no doubt, but they rely heavily on lithium-ion batteries, which have their own set of environmental issues. The production and disposal of these batteries are resource-intensive and can be damaging to the environment. Toyota's water-powered engine solves these issues entirely. Instead of relying on batteries, it uses water, which is a resource that is not only abundant but renewable. The electrolysis process that powers the engine can be driven by renewable energy sources like solar or wind, making the entire system much more sustainable. During a recent meeting in Japan, Toyota's Executive Vice President and Chief Technology Officer, Hiroki Nakajima, revealed this new technology to the world. Nakajima said that Toyota is no longer trying to stay within the confines of car manufacturing but is expanding its vision to become a comprehensive mobility company. This means they are going to provide innovative transportation solutions that go beyond conventional vehicles. The water-powered engine is just a small part of this broader strategy. Nakajima was not alone in this bold proclamation. He was joined by Takaro Kato, who was leading Toyota's electric vehicle division, and Mitsumasa Yamagata, who is heading up the hydrogen car team. Together, they are trying their best to change the way we travel with this brand new technology. Toyota's hydrogen fuel cell cars are already paving the way, using a chemical reaction between stored hydrogen and oxygen from the air to create electricity that powers the vehicle. The process is super efficient, requires minimal energy, and produces zero harmful byproducts. But Toyota's new water engine is on another level. By generating hydrogen as it is needed, the engine eliminates the need for bulky and heavy storage tanks, making the car lighter, more efficient, and safer to drive. This is a big deal because, unlike hydrogen, which needs high-pressure tanks that are heavy, expensive, and prone to leaks, water is much easier to store and does not come with any of those risks. It is clearly a game changer, not just for small cars but for big trucks and even power plants. So, with Toyota's water engine on the horizon, we might just be looking at the future of transportation. It is safer, simpler, and more sustainable than anything else out there. The idea of making a car run on water is not exactly brand new. Before Toyota stepped in with its revolutionary water-powered engine, plenty of others tried to make cars run on water, and let's just say, it did not go well. The history of these attempts is filled with big claims, flashy headlines, and a lot of failures. Back in 2008, a Japanese company called Genpax made headlines with their bold announcement that they had built a car that could supposedly run on water alone. No gas or diesel needed. It sounded amazing at that time, but as you might expect, it was not that simple. Genpax claimed their car used a unique system to split water into hydrogen and oxygen, using the hydrogen to power the car. But there was a catch. It turned out that this miracle car also required a special material called metal hydride to make the process work. So, it was not exactly just water doing the heavy lifting. To make matters worse, Genpax never provided any solid scientific proof for their claims, leaving experts and the public skeptical. Scientists pointed out that splitting water into hydrogen and oxygen takes a lot of energy, and you cannot magically get more energy out of water than you put in. This was not the first time someone had made grand promises about water-powered cars. In the 1980s, a man named Stanley Meyer claimed he had invented a dune buggy that could run on water. He said his invention would change the world, but when people started asking for proof, Meyer could not deliver. In 1996, he was convicted of fraud, which pretty much killed any hope that his claims were legit. The Genpax story had a strange resemblance to Meyer's. and it was not long before people started doubting their claims too. The pattern of big promises and disappointing results continued. In 2002, a company called Hydrogen Technology Applications came forward with a device they called Aquagen. Initially, they used it for safer welding, but then they claimed it could power cars. However, like the others before them, their claims didn't hold up under scientific scrutiny. Eventually, the company admitted that their device could only improve fuel efficiency a bit, not run a car on water alone. Around the same time, another company called Genesis World Energy claimed they had developed a device that could extract energy from water. They managed to raise a ton of money from investors, but surprise, surprise, they never actually produced a working product. In 2006, the company's owner, Patrick Kelly, was sent to jail for fraud. Then, in 2008, a man from Sri Lanka named Tushara Priyamal claimed he had driven a car on water for 190 miles using just 3 liters of water. Even the Prime Minister of Sri Lanka supported him, but soon after, Tushara was arrested for fraud. His claims, like so many before him, were found to be nothing but smoke and mirrors. More recently, in 2022, an Indonesian man named Arianto Mel claimed he had invented a device called Nkuba that could turn water into hydrogen fuel. He boasted that this device could power motorcycles for 500 kilometers on just 1 liter of water, and even claimed that big car companies like Lamborghini and Ferrari were interested. But, as usual, scientists quickly called out his claims as impossible. They also found out that the car companies were not actually interested, exposing Arianto's story as just another failed attempt to make water-powered vehicles a reality. With all these failed attempts, it's easy to wonder if there's something more going on. Could it be that powerful interests are intentionally suppressing the development of water-powered cars? While there's no hard evidence, it's not a crazy thought. The global energy industry, which is dominated by fossil fuels, is worth trillions of dollars. A technology that could make traditional energy sources obsolete would threaten the profits of some very powerful corporations. These companies have the money and influence to discredit or suppress any technology that could shake up the status quo. Fossil fuel companies, for example, have every reason to protect their market share. They might lobby against new technologies or spread misinformation to keep alternative energy solutions from gaining traction. Plus, new ideas often face skepticism from the public and the media. The idea of a car running on water sounds almost too good to be true, and concerns about safety and practicality can make people hesitant to accept it. Powerful entities might play on these fears to maintain control and prevent disruptive technologies from taking off. But now that Toyota has taken the matter into its hands, things could be different. Unlike the previous attempts, Toyota has the resources, expertise, and credibility to back up its claims with real science. When it comes to electric vehicles, China and the United States have been leading the charge. China, with its aggressive policies and massive investments, has become the largest market for EVs. Companies like BYD, NIO, and XPeng are at the forefront of China's EV revolution. They are benefiting from government subsidies, widespread charging networks, and strong manufacturing capabilities. China's focus on reducing carbon emissions and tackling urban pollution has led to strict regulations that favor EV adoption. This commitment has paid off, with millions of electric cars sold each year and a rapidly expanding charging infrastructure. It is no surprise that China holds a top spot in the global EV market. In the United States, Tesla is the undisputed leader in the EV space. Under Elon Musk's direction, Tesla has transformed the industry with its sleek designs, advanced technology, and extensive supercharger network. Tesla's continuous improvements in battery efficiency and range have set new industry standards, pushing the boundaries of what EVs can achieve. Other U.S. automakers, like General Motors and Ford, are also giving everyone good competition. They are regularly manufacturing new electric models and investing heavily in EV technology.